The 25 million Rand Nulane Investments criminal trial has heard of allegedly or alleged irregular conduct. Now, a senior financial investigator from the NPA has been lambasted for helping preparing a witness statement. Claims of improper overlap between the Hawks and the NPA's ID have also emerged in court. Erin Bates is our colleague listening to the detail coming out of that trial. Erin, good morning to you. So the cross-examination has begun. Any interesting detail worth reporting about?
Indeed, that's why we're chatting right now, Xoli, on this adjournment until 11:30. Thesele Rankuoatsana of the ID of the NPA, a senior financial investigator who produced a report on financial flows linked to the alleged fraud and money laundering in the Nulane Investments matter. Now, something interesting that has emerged as cross-examination has proceeded is firstly some of the details of records for Nulane Investments in terms of representatives other than Iqbal Sharma. His defense attorney, Bronwyn Forbey, confirming that a certain document about an overseas payment from Nulane Investments abroad actually didn't include Sharma as the point person or representative of Nulane Investments. Another thing that has emerged critically during cross-examination this morning is the fact that Rankuoatsana worked with that Mandla Mtolo of the Hawks, an investigating officer working on this case, and met with one of the witnesses, that's Knosi Tubisi, and was involved in preparing his statement. Now, Rankuoatsana says he was simply typing that statement up, but it certainly has, thrown up these allegations of improper conduct. In fact, counsel for Dinesh Patel saying, "You're naughty," or "it's naughty" at some point, and that this is highly irregular. And this may be where we see some sort of scrutiny, really, of the kind of secondments that happened after a regulation was changed in terms of the work of the Zondo Commission, for example, and the sharing of information between the Hawks and the investigating officer there with the ID of the NPA.
Talk about just some of the risks that seem to emerge, particularly as a result of this cross-examination, but also add to that, Erin, that this study, the 25 million Rand, this would have paved the way for the ill-fated. And we say it that way because the people that were intended to benefit from the Estina Dairy Farm project, they never did.
Or barely did. I think there were a few broken tractors and maybe one or two cows, trundling around the fields of Vrede at that Estina Dairy Farm. But yes, there was clearly not value for money. In terms of the risk, Xoli, of course, the allegation is that Rankuoatsana engaging with Mtolo so closely, and in fact prior to this working on the Estina matter, that broader case, jeopardizes his impartiality in terms of the financial report he prepared. Now, the state seems, as much as, I was speaking yesterday about the ease we're seeing amongst the accused, a sense of almost relaxation. The state seems confident they have a winnable case here, that they're not worried about the kinds of questions that are coming up in cross-examination, and that the financial evidence here is watertight to prove the alleged fraud and money laundering the state argues occurred. And in terms of the bigger picture, of course, it was the feasibility study, that high-level feasibility report which Deloitte produced, Nulane Investments amended to a greater or lesser degree, depending on whose argument you take, and then that all informed the ultimate Estina Vrede Dairy project. Now, people in the Free State outside this very court, Xoli, are aware of this case ongoing. They lived under the regime of Ace Magashule at a time when the Guptas allegedly infiltrated the Free State government and looted in cahoots, allegedly, with senior officials in departments like those of agriculture and rural development. Here's one person I spoke to in the Sassa Q, which is right opposite the courthouse. There are, reams of people winding around the block every day, continuing to live under duress in this province. They say because of corruption. And this is what one resident had to say about what could have been done in terms of the money that was looted in the Estina scam.
Ja, van die melkplas, ja. Ons kon baie gesin het met dit. Want, soos ek jou sê, jy kan maar net gaan kyk wat gaan by die informele plekke aan die mense. Ons kan nou gespas gesê dat Die mense se huise oorspoel. Die mense se meubels raak klaar. Daar is sieklike mense wat in hy omstandighede en dit reik verskriklik sleg.
Erin Bates, it is tragic indeed that people, ordinary people that we were told were the intended beneficiaries of the Estina Dairy Farm project, as you said earlier, barely benefited from these funds, instead channeled towards benefiting other people that were not necessarily the beneficiaries. Let's leave it there for now. Erin Bates keeping a watchful eye over this particular case. We'll see what result of it.